So if you want to win your fantasy football league, you came to the right place. Fantasy Football Phil here, and today we're taking a look at FantasyPros 6 overhyped NFL players from training camp. Now I'm going to take a look at their list, kind of tell you why I agree or disagree, and kind of give you some information on why I believe that not everything's just a hunch or a feeling in my gut or whatever. Who's first on the list? We're taking a look at DK Metcalf. Now I wholeheartedly agree with this. First of all, his quarterback is 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. It's not often that a quarterback is old and does really good. Not everybody is Tom Brady. Now, he's been okay, I suppose okay, the year he came back after his Achilles tear. But man, he has so much baggage. You never even know if he's going to make it through a whole season. You never know if Aaron Rodgers is going to drift off into the desert, go on some drug-fueled smoke box tour or something. You never know what this guy is doing. And apparently, was it him and Metcalf were before flushing toilets there? They're talking about. So really the way that they're bonding is by sharing toilets. This is just, you can't even make this stuff up. Aaron Rodgers is such a weird guy. But beyond that, DK Metcalf has really never had the craziest of seasons. We'll take a look over here at player profile here. I mean, his age is fine. He's huge. And that's the thing why people like DK so much. The pictures of him with his shirt off, he's absolutely ripped. Look at these scores, 90. These numbers seem like a guy who should be just killing it crazy. But when you look at the stats over the seasons, we got one 1,300-yard season, but other ones 900, 900, 900. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good. But is this crazy hyped up? We did get over 1,000 a couple of times here. And did he have good enough quarterbacks? He had Geno Smith, which is okay. Would you say Aaron Rodgers right now? I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl year. Aaron Rodgers right now, do you think he's that much better than Geno Smith when he was doing his thing? 10 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns, I would venture to say no, not really. So even though Metcalf has all of these measurables up here, 98th, 100th, 97th, that's coming out of college anyways. But even with his size, he seems like a prototypical body anyways for a wide receiver that would absolutely kill it. But he just never really got it all together. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the one that does it for him. The next hugest reason why, this name right here, my God, I do not touch people on teams that have somebody named Arthur Smith anywhere in the organization. After having Bijan Robinson for a couple of years, dealing with this schmuck, just stay away from these teams. You never know what this idiot is going to do. He loves running 2 tight end sets. Great. So you have less wide receivers on the field. I'd assume DK would be one out there most of the time. But hey, if you want to get other people runs and stuff, he'll have to come off. Rarely. This isn't going to be a ton. He'll be out there for almost all the time where there's 2 wide receivers. But still, he loves his 2 wide receiver set. He loves running the ball. And he loves running the ball with bad people, too. Luckily, they actually just cut Cordell Patterson, dusty old 37-year-old Cordell Patterson, which Arthur Smith is probably hating that. He loved that guy. He would probably give him 10 touches a game but luckily the organization got rid of that guy. So, but they still love running the ball. And Arthur Smith loves giving the ball, since he's offensive coordinator, to bad running backs. If you have bad running backs, you get less first downs, meaning you have to kick the ball away, which means you don't sustain drives, which means you don't score as many touchdowns, get as many yards, you don't score as many points. That's why Arthur Smith is an automatic no-go for anybody on the team, essentially, in my book. Not literally, it depends how far they fall or whatever. But yeah, for DK Metcalf, he's almost off boards for me, unless he falls a bunch. Take a look at the next one. We're moving down to Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, a lot of people thought, man, he had a terrible rookie season. The thing is, he was going in the first round. Now, if you get drafted in the first round, you got lofty expectations. I think he was just way overdrafted last year. If you take a look at him, his stats never were super great. 87th percentile is actually better. I thought this number was lower on his speed score, but good size at 6'3". He's young, and he's got the pedigree. Obviously, his dad played in the league, but he's almost 23 here. When you move down and look at the stats for last year right here, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns is kind of a surprising number. The thing is he was actually targeted a lot in the end zone. It's actually surprising. One important thing here, too, is 1,566 air yards. So there would have been a lot of passes sailing over his head from Kyler Murray. And maybe they just weren't on the same page and stuff like that. So he only got half as many yards as air yards he had. That seems like a drastic number. Now, unfortunately, he only averaged 11.6 fantasy points. But if he was drafted much later, you look at these numbers, this is essentially right on board with where Metcalf was at. And is Metcalf really getting hyped up? Metcalf going into a worse situation, and I would venture to say that Marvin Harrison Jr. here, he's going to be ascending from this. This 8 touchdown number, it sounds like a lot, but he had a ton of targets. He actually supposedly put on weight put on some muscle. So maybe he slowed down slightly, but that's going to help out contested catches and specifically in the end zone. I honestly expect both of these numbers to actually increase. So do I agree with Marvin Harrison Jr. being overhyped? I haven't heard him being hyped too much, but people are excited for the second year for the, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's obviously got the same name as his dad. I could see how he's getting hyped up, and he is getting drafted much earlier than DK Metcalf is, a few rounds anyways. I think 2 or 3 if I'm not mistaken. So I would put Marvin Harrison kind of on the fence. He's somebody I actually want on my season-long team. I do pick him up once in a while at his normal ADP for best ball as well. So I would say he's not overhyped or not hyped enough. I think he's in an all right spot. Taking a look at the next down here, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Now, this is a guy that I just started hearing of like over the last few days, and it's probably the hype they're talking about in this article. But who is this young man? Now, he is 24-year-old rookie. That is pretty old. As for size, 5'10", 206, pretty meh. His stats here, kind of meh, but a pretty good 95th percentile here on the burst score. So there's not going to really be a whole lot to look at because, like I said, he was a rookie. But the most important thing, and this is what kind of gets you, he was drafted in the 7th round. So the only way you could really hype this guy up is you're thinking this guy is like the next Pacheco. But even Isaiah Pacheco being a 7th rounder, not having the draft capital, teams are ready to move on from you mega quick because your contract's nothing. They just don't think highly of you. And you don't get the same run that somebody gets drafted in the 1st round would. You don't get the same opportunities over and over again as like a Marvin Harrison, like the last person we talked about, or just anybody who gets drafted in the 1st round. Look at Anthony Richardson, a completely different situation, of course. But he gets drafted super high. I think it was 4th overall. And he's getting chance after chance after chance when he cannot throw the football. He can run, can't throw. It's a quarterback, of course. But these 7th round picks, they almost essentially never like break out. Really ever, but especially in the 1st season when there's a 3rd-year running back, Brian Johnson, in front of him, and an old, dusty veteran, Eckler. So I don't really see this guy having a chance to break out. So would Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt be overhyped? Yeah, I mean, he's getting a little bit too much hype. He's maybe, I would say you'd have to have probably 2 injuries to both of those other guys in order for him to really get anywhere. He's been hyped up by some of these beat reporters. They talk about a little bit right here, reports of him running with the 1st team. Everyone gets a chance sometimes. Guy goes out for a break. Guy, gets, oh man, my side hurts. Get somebody in there. So people get chances. And also just to evaluate guys, you want to see them run with the rest of the starting team. Because if you're always running with the other bad guys, I guess you could say, you can't really show your talent fully. Next up on the list, we're talking about another rookie coming in. And that's Jaden Blue. Now, this guy was getting hyped up from like day one because the Dallas running back situation, a little bit murky. Now, they have Javonte Williams right here and Miles Sanders. Both of those people assumed Javonte Williams, but Miles Sanders got a little hype in there too. They've been splitting reps, taking reps as a starter. But Jaden Blue, everybody wants to get excited about the rookie. Now, what is there really to look at here with the rookie? Speed score, 92nd percentile, so he's pretty fast, but this size, 5'9", under 200, this under 200 pounds is not like a definitive guaranteed, but you got to work with the percentages. And usually running backs here at this size, under 200 pounds, only 5'9", you're going to end up kind of being a receiving specialist. I don't necessarily know exactly what he did in college, but he's pretty young, and it was a 5th round pick. This is another place where if there's established guys ahead of you, a 5th round pick just usually does not get there for most teams, especially when you have 2 guys like Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, 2 guys with starting pedigree under their belt anyways. Javonte Williams never quite got to what he could have been with injuries. Miles Sanders kind of got gave up on by Philly. And then whatever happened in Carolina, I guess, I forget his name now, but that other running back just stole his lunch and took the job from him. So, but either one of those or both of them could be getting carries over top of Jaden Blue. So I feel like he's a guy, even though he's not going super early in drafts, either best ball or season long, I think he's getting hyped up a little bit too much as well. Now, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason both getting too hyped up here. that's very interesting that they put two of the same guys on the same team right here. Aaron Jones, I agree with. Jordan Mason, I don't agree with as much. The way this looks at Aaron Jones is super old, am I right? So he is 30 years old now. I got to be honest here. He's almost 10 years younger than me. Don't get it wrong. But running back standards in the NFL, that's pretty old. And he tends to, get a lot of like nicked up, dinged up injuries, misses 2 games here, misses 3 games here, leaves a game early, a lot of that kind of stuff. So him getting hyped up, I haven't really heard Aaron Jones getting hyped up that much. Really, in my opinion, I've been hearing Aaron Jones getting more like poo-pooed or whatever you want to call it. People really down on him. His stats over the years, it was obviously better when he was down here with Green Bay. Had a couple of lesser years. It's down, 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 down. And then last year, he had an okay season. Games played, 17. It's not exactly the norm from him. He did hit 17 back here, but he had 11, 15, 14. This is the seasons were 16 games, I believe, back then. Can't remember. But 10, 12. So all these different seasons, he had a little bit of issues. Now, he gets a lot of his stuff from receiving and also running kind of like combined. So you see here, total touchdowns. Numbers aren't crazy high. A huge 19 touchdown season over here. So that's going to help everybody. You're going to remember that one. But this last season was not too bad. A little bit of a revival, but they're switching to a rookie quarterback. And along with the age and stuff, there is a big question mark there with his age. Now they got Jordan Mason coming in. It's not some cheap free agent signing there for Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason was actually somebody that they traded for. I don't have him pulled up ready to go just yet, but let's go ahead and get Jordan Mason ready to rock here. He is much younger, of course, at 26. I already knew this was kind of coming. His different scores over here, his workout metrics and whatnot, much, much, much lower. Not great. But everybody remembers what Jordan Mason here did when Christian McCaffrey went out for San Francisco. The thing is, too, is I believe the coach, play calling, getting people schemed up there for the Vikings, actually does a very good job. So it could be a similar result for Jordan Mason. He is getting hyped up pretty good. He's actually going right around the same time as Aaron Jones. So it's really hard to say here without seeing him, but they did trade for him. And it's hard for me to believe that you're going to trade picks and stuff and trade in order to get a guy and then not use him. Taking a look at the different seasons here. This is the season where he came in, obviously, last season and filled in for Christian McCaffrey. He did get hurt as well, and Isaac Rendo came in to help him out. Not a lot of catches, though. Only 11 receptions, 153 carries, but he had almost 800 yards there and only 3 touchdowns. I thought this number, see the way your mind plays tricks on you. You remember he came in off the waiver wire, of course, so you thought he just annihilated everybody. 3 right there, and not even 100 yards there receiving. So a lot of people are speculating that Jordan Mason here is going to be like goal line guy because Aaron Jones has been like stereotypically bad at goal line work. So they're thinking Jordan Mason be the short yardage, Aaron Jones more of the receiving. It very well could be. Neither one of the guys are going super high. I believe it's right around the 10th round-ish. Could be 9th, 11th. I don't remember exactly. And I'm talking best ball there. A lot of the redraft stuff starting to come in now. People, it's a little early for draft still. But so is Jordan Mason here being overhyped? I'm on the fence kind of with both of these guys, actually. So I don't want to disagree with their overhypeness or, kind of agree with it or whatever. I'm right on the fence. Sometimes I take them in best ball and sometimes I don't. So this is the 6 overhyped players here from Fantasy Pros. Let me know, do you agree with them? Do you agree with my take or do you agree with theirs? Who is overhyped and who isn't? Anybody else you think's overhyped? Let me know down in the comments. If you watch all the end, hit the like button and subscribe up to the channel if you haven't done so already.